I think if people could really grasp the power of the internet, they would drop everything they're doing right now today and learn as much about it as they could. There's 1.5 billion users on the internet right now.
Call it networking,
affiliate marketing,
direct selling,
referral marketing.
Call it whatever you want. It's already a $100 billion a year business.
A business that you can do part-time or full-time and can be started at home with no large capital outlay, low overhead, no employees, and no special business expertise or technical skills. A business that allows you to work your hours for your goals.
A business that offers time freedom, financial freedom, and a franchise-like, step-by-step business plan. And according to most experts, a home-based business offers incredible tax advantages.
What are you waiting for?
Think e-commerce is going away?
Statistics show that 96% of adults ages 25 to 44 are looking to own their own business.
The only question is, are you ready?
Are you tired of being passed up for promotions, tired of commuting, tired of the rat race?
Are you ready to work your own hours? Take a vacation when you want to, not when they let you.
Drive the car you've always dreamed about, not the one you can afford.
Live where you want to live, not where your job puts you.
Retire in style, not on a shoestring.
The diagram my rich dad showed me when I was a little boy was a diagram known as a cash flow quadrant. And the quadrant is made up of the 4 different people who make up the world of business. So my rich dad said, in the world of business, there's E's. And E's stand for employees. An employee, he says, you can always tell who they are by their core values. And what the employee, whether the president or the janitor of the company, will always say the same words. The words are, I'm looking for a safe, secure job with benefits. That's what makes them an employee, because their core values are security. The other one of the 4 is the S, or the small business owner or the self-employed. And again, their core values will cause them to use the same words, which are, if you want it done right, do it by yourself. S means they're also solo. They're generally one-person act, or they operate by themselves. On the right side of the quadrant are the B's. And what Rich Dad said the B stood for was big business, or like Bill Gates. Forbes defines big business as 500 employees or more. And their words are different. They say, I'm looking for a good system, a good network, and the smartest people I know to help run my business. So they're unlike the S. They don't want to run the company by themselves. They want smart people to run their companies for them. And then the 4th of the quadrant is the I, and I stands for investor. These are people who have money work hard for them. These people are people who have people work hard for them. And these are the people that work hard for the rich here. So early on in my life, it was my poor dad who always said to me, you know, Robert, go to school and so get a high-paying job. And so my poor dad's core value was to be an employee. He wanted job security, promotions, a steady paycheck, and all this. And so it was my rich dad who said to me, he says, you know, Robert, if you really want to be rich, learn to build businesses. It made more sense to him to work hard to build a business, something you owned, and something you could pass on for generation to generation to your kids. Whereas my poor dad said, work hard, but my rich dad said, why would you work hard for something you'll never own and you can get fired from right away? Again, that was the difference in values. So my rich dad suggested I learn how to be a business owner and learn how to be an investor. And that's one of the big differences. On this side of the quadrant, these people here work for security. They work for money also. On this side over here, their key value that they want is they want freedom. They don't want to have to work at a job anymore. They don't want to have to work for the rest of their lives. So the beauty of building a business and learning how to invest is very simply that this is passive income. You work hard for a few years, but possibly for the rest of your life, income keeps flowing to you.
Of all the businesses out there, which type do you choose?
One of the reasons I consider a direct selling business a perfect business is very simply because the company will work with you to get the business skills that make you rich. Always remember that it's not money that makes you rich, it's business skills. And that's why it's a perfect business. They'll take as long as you like. to get the skills to make the money. And that's a lifetime skill thing. The other part about it is the low startup costs. Where else can you get in for under $500 and get these skills? For people who want to make the shift over to the B quadrant, which is what I would recommend for people, one of the beauties of a network marketing company is that you can do that for a very low price. And that's why I talk to people about considering network marketing. If you're to build a Microsoft, it would take you hundreds of millions of dollars. But a network marketing company allows you to start at a very low rate. They'll be patient with you. They'll take their time to transition over here. And the reason why that time is so important to most people is it takes time to change those values. And the most important thing is once you take the time, let's say it takes 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever time it takes, once you see the value or the core values of this side and this side, you're unstoppable. Today, I would never go back and get a job. Why should I? I'd rather stay on this side, build companies, pay less taxes, and make more money. But the key is a person needs to change the values from my poor dad to the values of my rich dad. And that's one of the beauties of network marketing companies. They allow you the time, and at very low cost, they'll work with you to make that transition over there. The number one asset a person can build is build a business. That is the smartest thing you can do. Years ago, I decided not to follow the corporate ladder simply because, again, it was values. My poor dad always said, go to school and get a high-paying job with the government or a big corporation. But my rich dad said, why would you work so hard at something you'll never own? You can't sell your job. You can't pass it on to your kids. So to me, it never made any sense. It made more sense to build my own business and hire other people. The other reason is that you really don't have much control if you're in the corporate ladder world. For example, you can get fired at any time. Or today we have what's called M&As, or mergers and acquisitions, where another company buys another company. So you could be a great employee, but the company that buys your company just fires you.
Wait a minute. This sounds too good to be true. Like one of those get-rich-quick schemes.
It's not a get-rich-quick formula. You don't just do it overnight. It takes time. I still remember the first time I made that transition was back in 1978 when I fully quit my job and I had to depend upon my company that I was building to support me. So I understand the fear. The beauty, the most important thing to remember is this. There's two kinds of people in the world. There are the types that will say, you'll never make it. And I had a lot of people, a lot of friends and family saying that. You're stupid. Don't do it. And the second type were the people that said, go for it. You can do it. Don't worry about it. We'll cover you. So the most important thing is support of friends and family. One of the beauties of a direct selling company is that they provide that personal support to you for as long as it takes you to make the journey from the left side to my rich dad side. One of the challenges of being self-employed is that you're your own boss. You're the solo act. Like in the S quadrant, you're the individual. You do it on your own. Whereas in the B quadrant, you're a team player. You have to depend upon your team and count on your team. So the problem with being an S is that, let's say you're in a traffic accident, there goes your income. And let's say you get older and you haven't set enough money aside to retire on, that means you'll probably have to work for the rest of your life because you don't have anybody else to fall back on, not a team to count on. So one of the problems with the S, although most people say it's most satisfying of all work, it is a solo act, and you're totally on your own. Personally, I'd rather be a member of a team. They can count on me and I can count on them. We all know the world has changed, but sometimes the hardest thing to change is ourselves. And being an old guy, I sort of know the older I get, I sometimes get more set in my ways. And I think that's one of the things that a direct selling business offers people, why it's the perfect business. They allow you to take your time to make the mental, emotional, and physical changes required to move from the left side to the rich dad side. I think that's a big thing. It's a very gracious, it's a very elegant way, it's a patient way of supporting you in making the changes of your life. So please remember, change always creates upset, but sometimes we all know we have to make those changes. And if you know it's time for you to make that change, then the perfect business may be a direct selling business for you.
Hi, my name is Michael Forrest. I've been successfully marketing and making my living on the internet for over the last 10 years since I got out of the United States Marine Corps. But more importantly, I want to talk to you about everything that you have seen on the internet. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I have spent the last 10 years going through the school of hard knocks, trial and error, tried everything that you've seen on the internet, tried every empty promise, tried every product, every system. There's only one that I came across, and that was 4 years ago, that took me from a six-figure earner on the internet to a multiple million-dollar earner on the internet. And I don't just say that number. I'm going to do something that no one else does on the internet, and that is I'm going to prove that number to you. First and foremost, I can prove it to you real briefly here. My wife and I just moved here from California. We actually live in Miami right now. We split our time up between here and Paris, where my wife's entire family lives. We live up here on the 50th floor overlooking the entire Biscayne and South Beach. I'm actually coming to you from my home office. But again, back to my point, the kind of numbers that we can do offering a training system, specialized training and educational services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in over 140 different countries has given us leverage like we have never known. And we know it could do the same for you, and we want to share it with you. This powerful platform and business model changed everything from us. We now finally get to do whatever we want to do, whenever we want to do it. We don't have to worry about trading time for money. We don't have to worry about climbing the corporate ladder or buying a brick and mortar business for $1 million and worrying about employees, space, rent, inventory, insurance, liabilities, or any of those other headaches. This powerful platform and business model took us to a level that we didn't even realize was possible. And again, I don't just say that, I'm going to prove it to you by logging into my business bank account that this is a very real business, we are very real people, and these are very real numbers. So hold on one second, I'll do that for you, and then put in your name and email address, and I'll see you on the other side, and we'll talk then. Take care. Hi, Michael Force here again. Wanted to do exactly what I said I would do, and I'm going to prove to you that this is a very real business with very real numbers. You're going to see something here that you don't see anywhere else online, frankly, because no one else can prove it, because they're not telling you the truth. I'm one of the few that is, and I'm going to prove to you that it is very real. So hold on one second. I'm going to log into my business bank account at bankofamerica.com. I use my company name, Webvertising Inc., which is a registered S Corp out of California. We'll log in there, show you the real profit and revenue generated with this powerful platform and model. Take a look at the statements. We'll jump around. For the last year or two, just random months, so you can see the overall averages. This model is 80% profit. I have no employees, I have no space, no rent, no inventory, no insurance, no liabilities, none of those headaches. It is one of the most powerful platforms I have seen on the internet and business model, and why it has consistently produced for me for the last 4 years, and I know it can do the same for you. We'll jump around to another month here. That one was $94,000. This one is about $174,000. This was a great month. $174,795, 15 cents there. Revenue generated, as I said, 80% profit. And let's see here. We have another month here, $97,652.83. Kind of move through these quickly. Be mindful of the clock here. I know people's attention span is not very long, as is mine. $170,056.95 there. We'll jump around to another month there, the last 2 years. $84,803.64 there. And we'll do one more month here. You can see the overall average is about $101,000. I've averaged it out overall the last 4 years. $76,068.65 there. Very real numbers, very real business, and we are very real people. I'll prove that to you as well. Picture of my wife and I on our iPhoto here. And our baby girl, we just had her. She's about 7 months old already. I can't believe how quickly time flies here. Another picture. I'll show you. Whoops. That was Rome last year. We were in Dominican Republic for a couple of weeks. We had a nice little vacation down there. We were in Paris, France last year, as we are every year. Ibiza, Spain. We were over there for a couple of weeks, relaxing and enjoying a small island off of Spain. We're back over to Baja, below California there, doing some dune buggy ridings with a good friend of mine. And then we were in Arizona. Did some golfing with some of the boys, Marines, And then we have me in Venice last year, back in Monterey, California, over in Napa, and us back here in Miami, Florida. Well,
I think if people could really grasp the power of the internet, they would drop everything they're doing right now today and learn as much about it as they could. There's 1.5 billion users on the internet right now.